Hi, Annan. I just wanted to go over your work. The work that you sent me. I'm gonna start with page 7. So the first problem that you did, you got 3/8, and that was correct. The second one that you did the steps right. Change this to add. Change the second fraction to the opposite sign. You got -9/15. So you're right so far, but just don't forget, anytime you can reduce a fraction, please reduce. So because 9 and 15 are both divisible by 3, we can reduce that to -3/5. So that would actually be your final answer. All right, looks like the next one you did was this one right here. So I believe you got 6/4x, so you did 9 minus 3. However, be really careful about if they are like terms or not like terms. So even, I think you wrote this down at one point, but like terms have to have the same variable with the same exponent. So if they are not like terms, you cannot add or subtract them. So this is one of those cases here. We would just have to write 9 minus 3x over 4x and leave it like that. So can we cancel out these x's? No, we can't. And this is something that you are good at remembering. This one is part of this subtraction problem, and you can't cancel part of addition or subtraction. Okay, so the next one it looks like you tried was this one, x plus 4 over x. So I think you had, your picture came out a little bit blurry, so I think you had x minus 1 over x as your answer. But if we combine like terms here, I'm going to start with x because there's nothing to add or subtract that to. Now I have 4 minus 4. I think you had a -1 here, but if you have 4 and you take away 4, you're left with nothing. So don't write anything. We do not need a placeholder there. It's just x. X, and then on the denominator we have x. Okay, now can we cancel out these x's? Yes, we can. So, because they are not part of addition or subtraction, so they both become 1s. 1 over 1, now this does not become 0, this becomes 1. Any number over itself is always 1. And if you forget that, just make yourself a little note. Any number over itself or a variable over itself becomes 1. All right, so here's the next one. So I believe you are changing it to addition and changing the signs. I believe you're doing that correctly. So you would have made this a plus and this a minus x and this a plus 2. I think it's the combining like terms that you're having trouble with. So I always like to circle my like terms if there's different ones. So I have a 2x and I have a minus x. So to combine, that's 2 minus 1. And I was trying to give you this analogy before. 2 apples minus 1 apple is 1 apple. And the apple in this case would be the x. So I have 1x. You can write the 1 there in front of it, but you don't have to. I usually don't. Okay, now I have a 1 plus 2. So that gives me a positive 3. And this is over x. And this is our final answer. We cannot simplify these x's because this one is part of addition. Okay, so this one, the 6x over x plus 1, I wrote blurry. It might be correct, I couldn't tell. So I'm just gonna go over this anyway. You change this to a plus. This becomes a minus 2x and a minus 3 or a -3. Okay, so let's combine our like terms. I have a 6x and a -2x. They're like terms because they have the same variable and there's no power on each of them, or no exponent. So 6x minus 2x becomes 4x. And then this minus 3 or negative 3, I just write on, there's nothing to combine that with, okay? And then that is over x plus 1. Nothing to simplify here, so that's my answer. And then the last one you did was down here. All right, so I'm going to change it to plus. It becomes negative x and plus 5. All right, so here I believe you combined the x squared and the negative x. So those are not like terms because yes, they are the same variable, but they are not the same exponent. So these are not like terms, you can't combine them. All right, so what do we do when we can't combine them? You just have to write them separately. X squared minus x. You, yeah, just write them separately when you can't combine them. Okay, and then this part I think you did right. A negative 5 plus 5, that just cancels out completely. So we don't write anything. You could write plus 0, but I wouldn't. Okay, and then that is over x plus 3. All right, so I would like you to try a couple more of these just to make sure you do understand it, because it's easy to understand it while someone is explaining it to you. It's another thing to understand it well enough to do it on your own from beginning to end. So if you could please try this one, just star these on your paper, and then after you do it, just please send a picture. And this one, and maybe this one. Okay, so if you could try those 3 and send me your answers, that would be great. Thanks.